Hey guys, this is Tanvi from Bloggers Ideas, and today I'm going to do a detailed review of the directing masterclass done by Ron Howard. But first, let me do a quick introduction to this masterclass platform. Masterclass is a course website where you get to learn about various subjects. What sets it apart from the other educational website out there is that this masterclass is a curated course platform that is taught by the leading experts of the given industry. Now it has two pricing structures. If you are looking for taking only one particular course, then you can pay $90 and get a lifetime access to that course. Or you can opt for an all-access pass where you can pay $180 annually and can access as many videos and as many courses as you would like. I would advise you to go for the second option, as the content in this platform is simply exceptional and it is really hard to choose any one particular course. You would like to explore and know more about the courses and the knowledge that is shared by their instructors. But if you're very sure and you're only looking for one particular course, then go for $90 option and get a lifeline access to that specific course. Just to show you a quick overview of the masterclass homepage, here is the profile. Now, community is where you can start a discussion on any course or topic or network with fellow students who have signed up for these courses. You can also gift an all-access pass to your friend, a family member who can benefit from this masterclass. It will be like giving a gift of education and experience to your loved ones. You can access courses which deal in various topics and choose which one would you like to learn or which instructor would you like to listen to. So that was all about this masterclass homepage, and coming back to our masterclass course about directing by Ron Howard and whether it is worth it for you or not. So let's get started. About the tutor or the author. You must be very well aware of Ron Howard. You might also know him as an Oscar-winning director, a producer, an actor, one of the Hollywood's greatest storytellers. Ron Howard is a legend on both sides of the camera. As a child, his portrayal in many series and shows have launched him into everyday living room in America. After leaving acting to directing, he developed an extensive directorial resume which includes Cocoon, Splash, Apollo 13, Parenthood, Beautiful Mind, A Star Wars Story, and a beloved TV series called Arrested Development. In addition to being a box office blockbuster, he is also a two-time Academy Award-winning director. What is this course offering? A brief overview and why you should go for this. Now that you know about the tutor, let us move forward into knowing what the course is offering. Through this video, I would not only tell you more about directing masterclass, but you would also get some great glimpses into what this masterclass offers. So make sure you watch it till the very end. Ron Howard made his first film in 15 days with $300,000. Today, his movies have grossed over $1.8 billion. In his first ever online directing class, the Oscar-winning director of Apollo 13 and Beautiful Mind decodes his craft like never before. You will learn to evaluate ideas, work with actors, block scenes, and bring your vision to the screen. In this masterclass, he teaches directing, editing, and storytelling throughout the lessons. Now, coming to this masterclass. You will start this class from the class trailer and introduction, moving on to knowing about the tutor and then diving straight into various sections of this class. This class has 7 sections and 31 subsections. Each section is perfectly divided into knowledgeable lessons that are approximately 10 minutes long. If you're looking for an exciting learning sessions, then you should definitely take on this class. Ron Howard has so much to offer, and in this masterclass, which is for more than 7 hours long, yes, you heard me right, Ron teaches you for total about 764 minutes. And the best part, you can complete this course at your very own pace. Along with great lessons, you will also get access to a wonderful workbook. This 39-page long workbook has all the classes related materials, lessons, recaps, assignments, supplementary materials, and tips that Ron has shared throughout the masterclass. So don't forget to download it. A walkthrough through each section. Now let us take a look at all the sections and peek into what each section has to offer. I will also brief you about what each lesson offers. The first section is the importance of a story. Director is always the keeper of any story. He is the one that strengthens the story. In first section, he teaches us how we can strengthen the story that we want to tell. This section has 4 chapters and it is 43 minutes long. Let us look at each lesson and what it has to offer. The first lesson is about choosing a story. He feels that it is very important for stories to have an emotional impact. The story should offer something to the audiences. That's fresh. That's thematically interesting. Going to be worthy of their attention, their time and their money. Freshness also plays a very important role, as you want your audiences to feel that they have heard and seen this story never before. In this lesson, he teaches us how we choose our stories that leave an impact on our audiences. The second lesson is evaluating a script. He has been organizing thoughts for more than 15 years now and has his own checklist of things that he uses to evaluate and strengthen a script. In this lesson, we learn Ron's method of creating our own checklist and also the key components of a great screenplay. The third important lesson is refining a script. When we tell a story to our friends about our recent vacation or a date we went on to, we tell the story. Most of us probably recognize that the first time we tell the story as an anecdote, it is a little long. The next time you tell it, you're probably a little better. Why? Because it is a communication and it means to express an idea. Scripts have to be worked on creative and intellectual lessons. Ron tells us that there is no shortcut to rewriting process, and he shares how he ensures the script is camera ready before embarking on production. The fourth lesson is story inspiration case studies. He always works on ideas where he feels flush of inspiration, which usually comes from themes, his personal relationship with the idea, and its freshness. We learn how his approach has helped him create some of the most enduring and beloved films. The second section is pre-production. In this section, Ron talks about all the key collaborators that challenge and help him reinforce all the decisions that he makes from development to the production phase of the film. This section is about an hour 30 minutes long. Let us look at each subsections and find out what each lesson has to offer. Now, the first lesson in this section is developing the film. Ron says that throughout the development process, your choice and beliefs as a director are going to be tested. People are going to doubt your choices. So you have to find that if you can defend that script and those choices in an articulate way or not. If it is, then it's time to rethink your idea. Ron teaches us how to find the best collaborators to navigate through development hell and bring the project to life. The second lesson is collaboration part 1. Ron reveals in this excitement of collaboration. He thinks it provides us all with a sense of safety net, but more than that, it just energizes us. Ron also tells us how working in a group of 3 can be the best thing that can happen to you. The third lesson in collaboration is collaboration part 2. While Ron believes that collaboration is central in Ron's process, in the lesson he warns against directing by committee. Ron says that directors need to have the confidence to hear everyone, but listen to only themselves. The fourth lesson is working with cinematographers. In this lesson, Ron walks us through how to find the right collaborator, rely on them and work with them to define your movie's visual tone. He says that he has learned more from cinematographers than probably anyone else in this big collaboration of making movies and television shows. The fifth lesson is obviously cinematography. He thinks that cinematic choice is almost like a character in the movie. He says that he thinks of himself more like the way an actor understands a character and tries to inhabit that character. In this lesson, we'll learn about lighting, lenses, stylistic choices and add visual power to your film and make them very, very impactful. The sixth lesson is production design. Production designers is the individual's work who is in charge of making sure that the stage is set for each and every scene. He also makes sure that if it is a practical location, that if it looks the way it needs to look, that you can tell the story well there. The production designers are very interesting people, dreamers with huge responsibility. In this lesson, he teaches us how to find the best production designer and how we can work to inspire them to create sets that will help tell our story. The seventh lesson is research. He says seemingly smaller, trivial details can anchor a scene, reinforce a director's vision, and forge a stronger connection with the audience. Research helps determine what kind of set we would want to build, what kind of environment would we need, what sort of camera will work there. Everything starting from the pre-casting to the completion of a film goes through various phases of research, and in this lesson Ron tells us the importance of research and its various uses. The third section is scene deconstruction. In this section, Ron tells us about the various choices he made as a director by breaking down iconic scenes, decision by decision. This is a very interesting section. It gives us deeper understanding of the three most iconic scenes by Ron. This section has 3 subsections and is 54 minutes long. Let us look at each lesson and what it has to offer. The first lesson is scene deconstruction. Raiders of the Lost Ark. One day, Ron was in the plane and Raiders of the Lost Ark was playing. He wanted to see it again and his headphones didn't work. And there were no other headphones available on the plane. He was really annoyed and he watched the entire movie without sound. The minute he got home, he got hold of VHS and started watching that scene over and over again without sound. And he learned so much. He has done that since then with all sorts of scenes and has found it very interesting to see how great directors choose to stage and shoot scenes. While watching like that, you're also more sensitive to the details of the kind of mechanics of it. Where did the cameras go? How long was the shot used? How many times was the camera setup used in that scene? And in this lesson, Ron helps us to get a better understanding of the shot and the mechanics behind them. The second lesson is scene deconstruction, Apollo 13. Ron watches the iconic launch sequence from Apollo 13 without sound and deconstructs it. In this lesson, he gives you a little idea about how the scenes were broken down and executed. He also explains how meticulous research and shot planning energize the familiar historical moment. The third lesson is scene deconstruction, A Beautiful Mind. It is a screenplay by Akiva Goldsman. It is remarkable in that it has one uber overriding objective, and that is to make you understand what it feels like to be mentally ill. And then by extension, what does it feel like to love someone who's living with those delusions? And what's so remarkable about that, it uses a convention of cinema. In this lesson, Ron shares how he flipped the movie's point of view at a very key juncture in the film to underscore the realization of the powerful truth. The fourth section is working with actors. In this section, Ron teaches us how to protect and inspire actors in our play. He also guides us to creating great plays. It is 42 minutes long and has 3 subsections. Let us look at every lesson and every subsection. The first lesson is casting. The lesson starts by Ron quoting William Wyler and had a simple formula. He thought that 90% of directing films was script and casting, and 10% was knowing how to get out of the way when you've done the first 2 things correctly. Ron also believes that casting is vitally important. In this lesson, Ron tells us to trust our guts, test the waters, and overcome the writing missteps while responding to the intangible qualities that a performer can bring to the role. The second lesson is working with the actors, part 1. Ron was an actor, so there's an inclination on most actors' parts to trust him, which has been a huge advantage for him. In this lesson, he teaches you how to prepare yourself to collaborate and work with actors and when to trust them to deliver the performance that you need. Ron also urges you to trust them, trust the actors. The second lesson is working with the actors, part 2. In this lesson, he talks about how he loves building on those moments which actors' instincts collide with the needs of the scene and add an emotional truth to the very scene. The fifth section is Watch Ron Direct, Frost Nixon. You'll be watching Ron share his experiences while directing his 2008 classic, Frost Nixon. He offers a rare opportunity to watch his process in action as he blocks actors and plans each shot. It is about 3 hours long and it is divided into 9 subsections. The first is Case Study, Frost Nixon. He takes you through the cinematography and production design decisions that energized and surprised him when he made Frost Nixon. The lesson has some powerful lessons about things turning compromise into creativity. He believes that it is important to find energy as a director. You need to make your shooting style reflect characters. The second lesson is Frost Nixon, Read Through and Staging Rehearsal. He says that a director's job is to narrow the seemingly endless staging choices. He offers you a rare opportunity to peek into his process in action. Ron shows you how to rehearse a scene on stage, talks about the actors through process of rehearsal. The third lesson is feature staging for masters. He believes that it is important for setting up the stage. This approach most closely replicates the staging approach of the original movie. You'll be seeing in this lesson as Ron collects masters for each setup. Each setup is rehearsed and it is perfectly fit into his image in the head. The fourth lesson is feature staging for coverage. He shows how to shoot all the coverage he knows he will need in order to optimize for creative choices in the edit. Ron covers few masters so that he can edit the desired scene and make the choices later. The fifth lesson is alternate staging possibilities. He believes that it is important now that you consider all the possibilities. He now has all his masters shot and additional coverage. He also tries to explore the other possibilities which are often following an actor's natural instincts. He says that you need to energize the scene as much as possible with different possibilities. The sixth lesson is Steadicam staging. He experiments with an idea of a long extended Steadicam shots. He walks the actors through the Steadicam rehearsal process and starts the staging process for the Steadicam shots. He reworks the scene for a Steadicam shot which requires technical movement and choreography from actors. The seventh lesson is Frost Nixon, Steadicam staging for Frost POV. Ron shows a different perspective using Steadicam staging. He shows you an alternate approach he could have tried in the film. He uses a Steadicam to shoot from David Frost's point of view. He shoots the scene from Frost's point of view, which changes the dynamics of the scene. The eighth lesson is Frost Nixon, staging for indie shoot. Indie movies are where the budget is tight for the directors and the movies are not mainstream and you really have less time. If you need to compromise on set, Ron tells you to keep the staging simple. This approach using indie shooting maximizes coverage with limited resources available with the director. The ninth lesson is staging review. As a director, you need to be fluid in staging process and you need to be flexible with the shots. At the end of the day, you need to have the best performance from your shots. In this lesson, he talks you through what he was considering while planning for each shot while reviewing the staging exercises. The sixth section is post-production. In this section, Ron teaches us how we can sharpen our story by editing and adding sound effects and using other techniques. This section is so important as it helps us find that final touch to the movie. This section has 4 subsections and is 44 minutes long. The first lesson is editing part 1. According to Ron, the editing process is the time when you execute the final rewrite of a movie. Editing is a process where the movie or the television show is actually made. In this lesson, Ron teaches us how to find the right editor for your film and ways in which you can develop an editing style for your film altogether. The second important lesson is editing part 2. Editing is a very personal thing on one's hand, but it's also a period where some objectivity from outsider can really benefit you. Ron says that it's vitally important that you continue to understand the themes, the ideas, the story that you are trying to tell, the thing that you believed in from the beginning and yet not clinged onto it. In this lesson, he brings out the fact that the first cut is going to break your heart, but you have to keep finding the thrill in the discovery process. The third lesson is sound design. He believes that sound design is another tool. It's another form of expression, and because we react to sound on a different primal level, it works a little bit the way music works. So adding a sound in movies is very important. This lesson is all about designing a sound that suits your story. The fourth lesson is music and scoring. In this lesson, he explains how the most talented composers pick up on the details of actors' performances and build cues that deepen a story. He also emphasizes on talking to the composers as talking to actors, and he also talks about using scores as reinforced themes. He talks about Frost Nixon's score and Beautiful Mind score. The seventh section is Parting Words. It is a 2-minute lesson named Find a Story You Love. In this lesson, Ron concludes the masterclass by sharing his words of wisdom. He asks us to be open to moments and experiences that you inspired. And he also asks you to find a story that you love and tell it without hesitation. Who should be taking up this course? Now that you know what each section is about, let us discuss who should be taking up this course. Anyone who is interested in directing can take up this course. If you are someone who is an aspiring director or someone who is thinking about making a career as a director, should also be taking up this course. If you are a director and you want some important lessons from Ron, you can take up the course. This course is full of knowledge and will definitely help you level up. This is one of the kind masterclass, so everyone who watches it is definitely going to benefit and take away many lessons from Ron. Pros of this course. Now talking about the pros of this course. The biggest advantage is that you get to learn directly from the Ron Howard, and that too for a total of 464 minutes, which is more than 7 hours long. Ron shares so many of his personal experiences and techniques which are definitely going to be very useful for you in your journey. The whole masterclass is very well paced and is divided into great lessons. Ron makes all the concepts very easy to understand by his unique teaching methods. Along with the masterclass, you also get a great downloadable workbook which is going to be your friend throughout the class. You also get access to a huge like-minded community with whom you can discuss your problems and share your ideas, your personal experience, or say, I have always been curious about directing, how scenes are shot and how movies are made. It's something that has always had my attention. Even though I'm not an aspiring director, this masterclass has taught me many lessons about the art of directing, which will always stay with me. I've always been a huge Ron Howard fan for such a long time now, and as soon as I heard that he was taking a masterclass, I straight away enrolled for it. This masterclass has been definitely worth it for me, and I'm sure it's going to be very, very useful for you as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We would love to hear your thoughts on the same in the comment section below. I highly recommend this masterclass, which is directing by Ron Howard. And if you wish to pursue this, you can find all the details of this masterclass in the description down below. Also, if you really like this review, then please like and share this video. And for more such reviews, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And one last thing, before leaving, do click on the bell icon, will you please? Thank you so much.